Good morning, Ron Durant here. Welcome back to the channel this morning. Today is December the 30th, 2021. It's 7 a.m. Got an early start this morning. We'll come up here to Allert, Tennessee, which is just south of Jamestown off of Highway 127. To an area called the Colditz Cove State Natural Area. And it's a pretty nice little place. It's got a hiking trail or two, and it's got a waterfall. And that's what we come to see this morning, was the waterfall. We had quite a bit of rain last night. I'm the only one here, as you can see. And here's a picture of the sign where the trail begins. Now, I don't always go that way because I like to get to the waterfall quicker, but this is the hiking trail you would take to get to the waterfall. I'm going to go down here and go in the woods on a social trail that's been made, and it's right down here on the far right hand side of this parking lot. And it cuts out about a quarter mile of the trail. So we're going to head on down here to the trail and get started. Thanks for coming along this morning. You'll take this social trail, and within a couple hundred feet it'll intersect the main trail, and you'll take a right hand turn when you get to that, and there'll be a long footbridge right down here you'll cross. There's a sign right here that says, so this little area here could be slick. It's a fairly easy hike back to the top of the waterfall. Then there's a loop trail when you get back here at Northrup Falls, and you can loop around. And when we get back here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we're just going down the trail right now, heading for the loop trail. So the trail ends up coming down into the woods here, or around these hemlock trees. And it's a real pretty trail. It's not a difficult trail. By far, I would call it an easy trail. So there's not a whole lot of obstacles, and that part of the trail I'm talking about is just to the top of the waterfall. Now it gets a little bit more difficult getting down to the bottom, and we'll show that in this video when we get down that way. So it had a lot of rain last night, had some storms come through, so we're hoping to see the waterfall in a different aspect than what I've seen it before. I've probably been here 4 or 5 times, and it's really a pretty waterfall. You'll see when we get to it. Well, we made it to the top of the waterfall where the trail splits, and I'm going to give you the first view of Northrup Falls. It's right over there. So when you leave the top of the waterfall, you'll go to the left as you approach the waterfall and go that way around the trail. You pretty much follow it along the edge of the ridge up here that you're on, and it's marked. It's got white blazes, and there's some smaller tags, tree tags along the way. That's what that looks like to me, a tree tag. Okay, after traveling about, I don't know, a quarter mile or so from the waterfall, you'll see where the white blazes make a hard right-hand turn and go downhill. That's the way you want to go, is follow the white paint on the trees and the white blazes. This will take you down to the lower section of this trail and on your way back to the waterfall. It's really pretty down here. There's a lot of rock bluffs that you walk down alongside, and the water's dripping off of that this morning. Might get your head just a little bit wet. Step out of that. So you just kind of follow this part of the trail back towards the waterfall. We'll get some video of this rock area that you go through to get over to the waterfall. So here's something I've not seen before, because apparently it only happens when we've had a rain. Like a little bit of a waterfall coming off this rock face here. And I can see Northrup Falls, we're not far from it. This is kind of pretty and unique. Might have to get a shot of this because, like I said, I've not seen this happen before myself. We're gonna walk behind it. The trail goes right here along this wall. A little bit wet right here. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I believe we'll have to take a picture of that on the way back. Well, you can hear it now. It's flowing pretty good. Might have to speak up a little bit so you can hear me. But we'll get up here and I'll turn the camera around so you can see it. I've not seen it with this much water before. Turn the camera around. There you go. Northrup Falls. Oh yeah. Boy, that's something to see today. And the water's clear too. Well, we're set up here at the bottom of this falls. Well, not quite the bottom, about the midpoint. A lot of spray down at the bottom. I'm not even going to try to go down there. I'll just be fighting that spray on my lens. We're getting a little bit of spray up this high too. As you can see, it's pretty far away. I'm going to go ahead and take a vertical single shot, and then I think I'm going to set up for a panorama, vertical panorama. So right now it's still pretty dark down here. We're at ISO 100 f11 at 5 seconds. I'm using the 24 to 70 and it's at 35mm focal length. And this is the picture I made of Northrup Falls. It was a 3-shot vertical panorama. I would have liked to have gone down to the bottom, but it was flowing so hard in the mist, I didn't feel like fighting it that day. Well, we're gonna head back out. I stopped right here where this little wet weather feature is and took a couple shots. It didn't look all that good, but I needed to take a picture of that because you don't see that very often. Or I've never seen it since I've been down here. So we're gonna keep on heading out that way down the trail. And I stopped briefly at that wet weather waterfall to take a picture of it. I needed to hurry because I had to meet somebody over at Big South Fork, and this was just a side trip. Well, that's going to wrap it up for Northrup Falls. It's not a long hike, maybe 15-20 minutes to get to the base at a brisk walk. I'm not too sure what the mileage is, but I think it's about a mile one way down to the bottom. It's not nearly that far to the top, maybe a 3/10 of a mile to the top on a fairly level trail. Once you get past the top though, it gets a little more rugged. Anyways, thanks for coming along and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.